I got a pet dragon, and it actually flies. Guys, this is our first time reacting to Tera Green. Shout out to them, by the way. I actually had a chance to meet them earlier this year. Let me know if you guys want to see me react to more Tera Green content in the future, but let's go ahead and check it out. The original video will be linked down below, so go and check them out. Let's get started, guys.
This is a Draco lizard, but I like to call them a dragon because of this.
Woo! Dude, that is crazy.
Yes, it is actually the only lizard
Loki
species
looks
that
like
has
a
a
tortilla.
literal
Flying
wings, which
tortilla.
allows it to fly in the air so they can eat bugs in hard-to-reach areas. Usually, you would never be able to find one of these, but I just found a website that had one.
What the?
Yo, no way, this is crazy.
Dude, I swear all these websites, like, where are they finding these websites, bro? They got animals everywhere, insects, animals everywhere online. $500
to come in stock on a site. I gotta buy this before someone else does. Oh my gosh.
Yep, so I checked one out for $500, and only a few days later, a package showed up at my house.
Yo, is this thing actually in here? I mean, if it is, I will be one of the first people to show off the insane abilities of the closest thing to a real dragon.
So I very carefully took this thing out and finally got to see if it was real.
Dude, he got a pet dragon just for himself.
It's actually legit. Oh my gosh.
Yes,
Where
I
the
am not
wings at,
kidding when
though?
I said I was waiting
Hiding in
years
the
for one
body?
of these things to come in stock. And at a first glance, you might be kind of confused of why. Because it kind of just looks like some regular old lizard, but there's a couple key characteristics that tell me otherwise. So I carefully grabbed it so I could show off
trying to see
what
the
makes
wings.
them
Whoa!
so exotic.
You see this, guys? These things have
He's just stretching out his wings.
these massive flabs of extra skin that in reality is the wings.
Yes, these dragon lizards purposely hide their wings by default so it'll look like a regular old lizard to bugs. Of course, at any
Camouflages
second, the
itself.
dragon could decide to reveal its wings so it could literally fly up and
Whoa.
devour any bug it wants.
And yes,
Wait, that's
I will
actually so smart.
be recording footage of this
Natural
thing flying.
instinct.
And in order to see it, we got to put together a massive enclosure.
And I mean massive. For this dragon, I need to build the largest tank I've ever built on my
Whoa.
channel. And like always, we'll be starting with the background slash
I wonder how
floor.
much
the
that
goal for how we
costs
want to make this tank
to
look
build
is
something
essentially
like
to
this.
recreate the massive trees from their natural habitat, which they of course jump off to fly. That of course means we need to stick tons of overhanging branches to this spray foam to seal them in place. Then we cover all this excess spray foam I laid out in natural stuff like dirt, leaves, and bark, and boom, this background is finished.
Yes, sir.
Wow,
These
that's
overhanging
so
branches
good.
will be perfect for our dragon to sit on and, of course, fly off of. But we can't just leave this floor area empty. Oh no, we gotta add dirt.
And because this is the biggest tank I have,
Wait,
I couldn't just use a normal
Wait, I didn't even realize this is gonna be the
bag
wall.
of dirt.
That's
Those
so
cost like
cool.
$20 each, and I would need so many. Instead, I'm gonna be using these compact dirt bricks, which are way cheaper, but are a bit annoying because in order to turn them back to dirt, you gotta soak them in a whole tub of
Ooh.
water and wait for a very, very long time. And yeah, apparently the bucket of water I gave them
That's so
wasn't
cool,
enough
though.
because I had to add a whole second bucket of water just to get them expanded enough.
And when
Wait,
these have
that's so
soaked up
cool.
water for hours, we can literally just take our hand and start breaking
Wow.
parts into a bunch of dirt, just like that.
See, like,
And
I would never know
I
about
just
things
realized
like
I
that.
forgot to add the drainage layer before adding in
Uh-oh.
the dirt. Oh my gosh.
Yes, I actually had to scoop out all this dirt temporarily and instead started to fill it with these clay balls. If you're a fan, you obviously know what I'm making. I make it in all my builds basically. But essentially, because the dragon lizards love a super moist, high humidity environment, this drainage layer will let water soak into it and keep the whole tank nice and moist.
All right,
Nice.
now I've just got to look past the massive mess I've
My
made
gosh.
and, well, add my dirt back on top. Let's go. This tank is actually looking, well, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it has a lot of work still. Let's fix this thing.
And our next step to
Dude,
do
this
that
is
is to
so
add
cool.
some decorations inside. So
All right,
I'll be
let's see what
starting
kind
with
of
adding some
decorations
more
you
wood.
got.
Oh, but of course, I don't just have a mere stick. I bought an insane amount of wood for this video. It was actually very expensive. I don't know why I
Oh
bought
my
this much wood, actually.
gosh.
But this gives
Dude,
you
how much money does he spend per video to make
some
these
excellent options of
crazy
different wood types
creations?
to pick and choose from to make this place look actually natural. I mean, there was these cool spiderwood things that I bought that actually look like trees if they had some leaves on them. The only problem is our tank is way too big for just these, so it was good that I also bought some of these more simple pieces of wood that were a bit longer so I could actually start stacking them up in this tank.
You see, I'm essentially trying to make these things look like tree trunks because those dragon lizards we're getting actually spend their entire lives basically clinging onto trees. Yeah, they basically almost never even fly down to the floor. So yeah, we need to fill this thing up.
But yeah, we still want to make sure there's enough empty space for our dragon to be able to fly around, so I left this area here open so that could hopefully happen.
But we have a problem. problem. This tank is still looking extremely dead and lifeless. Probably because it is dead and lifeless.
More
There's not really any
decorations.
life in here, but I know
Gotta
just
give
how
him a
to
little
fix
house.
that.
These
Oh.
are seeds, but not just any type of seeds. I
What?
went out and bought the 4 fastest growing seed types of all time because I
How
want to
fast
get
do
a
they
time
grow?
lapse of this tank coming to life.
So it'll
What?
be interesting to see which of these 4
How
seeds
fast do they grow?
grows the fastest. So we're gonna first start by sprinkling cress seeds on the left side of the tank, chia seeds, and the broccoli seeds in the middle.
You're
and
telling me
last
they
but
grow
not
within,
least,
like,
the
a day or
radish
something?
seeds on the right. Honestly, I have no clue if any of these are even gonna grow at all. I guess there's only one way to find out.
So I quickly
Time-lapse.
sprayed down each of the seeds because, of course, seeds, they need to be wet to sprout. And I left my time-lapse camera recording so I could see what would happen. And as you could probably guess, nothing really happened the first few hours at a glance. But in reality, each seed in here was absorbing the moisture from the soil to fuel them with enough energy to start spouting. And if you look very closely, a few of the seeds started to do just that. But since this
Ooh,
footage was
okay.
super blurry, I moved my camera even closer to the cress seeds where
Dang,
we could
I just
very
know
much
the
see in detail
phone's
how the
about to start
soil
dying.
essentially starts to look like it's inflating as these little white stems start to expand
Looks like
out of
little
the
worms.
seeds. And right as we are about to get to the good parts, my time-lapse
battery
camera
died.
ran out of
I knew
battery.
it. I knew
just
it.
Turned off.
Bro, you gotta be kidding me. I went to sleep to time lapse this and my phone died in the middle of it. Well, at least we got some footage and also check out these
Wow.
seeds. Tons of them actually are starting to grow little green leaves. Although these chia seeds didn't start growing at all. And the other seed types are just growing not nearly as well as these cress seeds.
So I decided to essentially remove all the other seeds that didn't grow that well and instead just replace them with a ton more cress seeds since we figured out those easily grow the best.
So yes, sir, by the end of the video, you'll see how much the enclosure transforms from all the greenery. It should be cool. But for this next decoration, I actually have to build something custom.
Yep, if you didn't know, these things right here are called rocks. Yeah, pretty revolutionary stuff. But using a genius strategy I came
Are they
up with,
fake
I could
rocks?
stack
They
these
look
rocks
kinda
in a
fake.
curved pattern,
Oh, they
just
are
like
fake.
my pet alien
Think?
worm's enclosure, to essentially create a cave here. And yeah, I of course used spray foam
Oh.
to stick it all together and then covered it in some dirt.
Yup, and the main reason I wanted to make a cave
Whoa,
in here
that's
is
so
because
cool.
I feel like dragons are just known to live in caves. So you see how this dragon has a campfire in the cave with him? And I think we should recreate that
That
in
spray
here.
foam is so
I've
useful.
got a paper towel and a lighter so
Huh?
we could turn this into
What
a
the?
campfire.
I don't-
Actually, wait, I might have to get another lighter. So we
Is that
can
even
turn it
smart?
into a campfire. Oh yeah. Oh, that flame's getting big.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I actually can't have a fire in the enclosure. That would actually certainly be extremely dangerous for our lizard since it's not actually a real dragon. So I instead went out and bought a super tiny mini toy campfire to recreate.
He risked his
this
entire
look.
house for this.
Pretty good.
But dragons aren't only known for living in caves, they're also known for conquering castles.
Oh.
You see how this castle is on top of like a rocky mountain? I think I want to build my castle on top of the cave.
Oh,
It basically
okay.
looks the same.
But if you've seen my other videos, usually it never turns out good when I try and build some custom models and stuff. So this time I decided to go with something much easier to build. A Disney princess castle. Yeah, listen bro, I'd rather build something stupid and have it look like an actual castle rather
Nah,
than
dude,
try and
that's not
carve some
stupid.
stones
That
out
is
to
so
somehow
legendary.
look like a castle. Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
Well, here's the Lego castle.
Hey,
And,
that works.
It looks alright on top
looks
of the cave,
fine.
but I have a way to make it look even better.
This right here is some gray animal safe acrylic paint. And well, I figured I should start using this to completely paint
Oh,
over all the castle.
okay.
Because, you know,
Hey.
castles are usually gray because
Whatever works.
stones, and not purple and stuff like this princess castle. And then after it was completely painted, I covered it in a layer of paint sealant so it would stay on the bricks.
But now that I look at this picture again, I'm actually noticing that it has green grass kind of all over the top of the mountain, which I feel like I should recreate that in here with this mossy stuff. And yeah,
Ooh.
it actually doesn't look too shabby.
Since that worked pretty
Dude, he
well,
put
I just
in
had to
a
start
lot
putting
of work to
more of
make
this
this.
moss around to actually make this place look green. Since, you know, these seeds at the bottom still haven't grown
He's
yet.
probably,
It was
like,
good to do
super
this because it
passionate
allowed
about
me to
this,
cover
too.
areas where there is still some exposed spray foam, so this whole tank quickly started to come together.
Whoa,
This
everything
is
is looking
looking
so good.
splendid. Wait a second. Who put a dragon pinata right here? Well, actually, it was me because, well, we're keeping a pet dragon and
Let's
actually,
crack
I'm
it
kinda
open.
hungry right now. I'm not gonna lie. I want some candy. Let's smash this. Hopefully, we get some good candy from it.
Wait, please don't tell me there's any chocolate in here. What?
candy. Let's
Oh, shoot! Oh, yep. Let me know down below in the comments. Are you guys more of a candy person or a chocolate person? I love candy. I don't know why. I just don't like chocolate. It's never my first choice.
Wait, what
but
is
Tootsie
this?
Rolls.
Oh, would you look
fire.
at that? It's the new Spider Terrapal Velora.
Yep, and this
Ooh.
is the brand new Terrapal we just released. And I figured since we put Velcro on the feet so they could connect together, I would just go ahead and hang it from a
let's
branch
go.
in the enclosure, just like a real spider. And while it doesn't really match the theme of the enclosure,
Nah,
I'm sure
honestly,
the
this
dragon
is fire.
lizard would still love to fly and climb all over it because of how soft and fluffy it is. And oh yeah, I had a good amount of that candy from the pinata too.
Ugh. Not that candy.
Now, there's only one
Not the
final step
dots.
to make this tank ready,
Not a big
and
fan
that
of the
is to
dots.
add in life.
Yes, sir. And the first life form I want to add is actually some food for the
it's
dragon.
gonna all grow, the
Now, you see,
sprouts.
I've been showing this animation throughout the video of how dragons eat crickets, but in reality, they don't even eat crickets in the wild. The truth is, they primarily only eat ants. So that means I
What?
need to add lots of ants in here.
But of course, I didn't want to feed my own pet ant colony that I've shown in other videos, so I instead opted to catch some wild ants.
All right, so to gather up a ton of ants,
Basically,
He's
I've got a
just
jar of peanut
recycling
butter,
the,
which I'm just gonna squeeze a ton of it
The circle of life.
onto this platform, and then I'm just gonna leave it right here, and surely a ton
guys,
of ants
you
will
might
start
find me on there, dude. I love peanut butter. I might not like chocolate, but I love peanut butter.
So I set up my camera, and as you could probably guess, it didn't take very long till the first ant had
Let's
stumbled
go.
across this legendary loot. He
They get
instantly
stuck
knew
on
this
it?
was some delicious food, but instead of eating it, he started to release a special pheromone into the air, which essentially tells the whole rest of the colony
guys,
that there's food.
jackpot.
Literally right when it got dark, the entire colony started
Oh my
to swarm
gosh.
in. There's even other bugs that came in, like this
You know
little
what else I learned? Like when I was having a barbecue with my family, I accidentally spilled a little bit of like cooking oil on the concrete. Next thing you know, the next day I saw like a huge pile of ants.
earwig, which was
I didn't know they
enabling
liked
the peanut
oil
butter,
like
and
that.
even some slugs. But
you guys
overall,
know that?
this is pretty cool to watch.
I'm afraid you guys have fallen straight into my trap. So I've got this paintbrush ant container, and I'm essentially just gonna pick all these ants up real quick. And now I just gotta
Oh, no,
scoop
they're
as many as
cooked.
I can into here before they all try to run away. All right, and this should be a good
Oh my
enough amount of
gosh,
ants.
that's
Let
so
me take
many.
this back to the tank because I have a special plan for these guys.
How are they
Yep,
not
these ants are
escaping?
actually not ready to feed just like this. I actually first had to pour this white calcium powder on them and shook it up, which coats them all in a layer of calcium, which if you didn't know is super important to make sure our dragon eats because it makes his bones
Makes them
very
strong.
Well, ants, let me start spreading you guys around this enclosure.
That's
yeah,
so
hopefully
funny.
the dragon will naturally find some of you guys and end
He's
up
actually
eating you.
Anyways, for the
seasoning his
final life
food.
to add into this tank, I've got some regular old springtails.
Which, of course, the little springtails that live in this dirt eat mold. So it's always great to add them to a nice moist tank like this. Oh, but the other day, I actually did just buy a scientific microscope.
Ooh.
I've always wanted to see what one of these springtails looks like super small. So let me go ahead and just put a bit of this dirt on there. And let's see if we can see
Can the
anything.
camera see?
So I set up my camera right at the edge of this microscope
Oh,
and tried to
whoa.
locate a springtail. Thankfully, there's tons of this dirt, so it didn't take very long until I found this
That's
guy.
so
Here,
cool.
you can see how detailed they really are, with their legs, tiny
the
hairs,
heck?
and even their little antennas. But of course, the reason they are called springtails is, well, because of their tail that is essentially just like a spring. They're able to flick their tail at an
Doing.
insane speed that basically springs them up in the air, which helps them stay safe from potential predators. Although, I don't know what predator would even want to eat this. It's not like it has any nutrition since it's so small.
It is crazy to think that there's thousands of these just living in this tiny little container. So let's go ahead and just kind of dump it in the enclosure and dump a few more in.
Now, I quickly added in the final technologies I was missing, like this automatic water misting system, where you literally just press a
Ooh.
button and it sprays the whole
Dude, it
enclosure with
becomes,
water.
like,
Very cool. And of
way,
course, I got
way
the
more
proper lights on the
complicated than you
enclosure,
think.
which will make the left side nice and hot, so the dragon can choose if he wants to be hot or cold. And well, guys, I'm glad to say everything is checked off on this list,
All right,
and that
time for
means
the
this tank
dragon.
is 100% complete.
All right, guys, you know what time it is.
Let's go!
Dragon, I'm sorry
It's
to keep
time.
you alone for a day, but it was well worth the wait. Because say hello to your new home.
Aw.
Oh, it looks like he likes it. He's already going to climb in the branches, and oh my gosh,
He's
he's got
low-key kinda
camouflage.
cute.
That's actually kind of crazy.
And now that this guy's made it into his enclosure, we need to finally
Dude, I like
see
how
what
he
it
lets
looks
them
like
hold-
when they extend
hold
their
them.
wings and fly. However,
Yeah,
the
now
only
he
way
just
that this
does
is going to
whatever he
happen
wants.
is when my dragon feels safe and comfortable enough in this tank. So I have a few things I want to do to help it adjust. First of all, starting with feeding.
And there's a couple different food sources I want to feed. First of all, starting with crickets. Because even though I was saying the dragon doesn't eat these earlier, I figured it's at least worth trying.
Let's
since
try
if
it.
it does, it would make my life a lot easier.
So I let a cricket loose into the enclosure,
It would
and
make him
unlucky for this
fuller
guy,
quicker,
he
too.
immediately started to climb on the very piece of bark that our lizard was sitting directly on top of. And I guess this really goes to show how good the camouflage of this dragon
Dude,
lizard is. Because
that's
this cricket
actually
walked
really good.
straight up to him. He could not even see there was a lizard here. But considering this cricket was basically bigger than the dragon's head, it was no surprise that the dragon didn't even try to eat it. And yeah, literally every
He's like,
time I brought a cricket over to his head
choking.
for the next hour, he just did not try and eat them.
All right, something's telling me this dragon lizard doesn't actually like to eat crickets because, I mean, there's literally a cricket under his neck
camouflaging
hugging
so
him
well,
now.
though.
So let's move on to our next food source, which is, of course, ants. And as you can see, I actually have some of those calcium dusted ants, so I can feed them very easily without having to find the ones I put in here.
Since the dragon had moved a bit and was
right.
now perching under the heat lamp, I figured I'd just bring the ants
Eat
straight
away.
to him. Since in the wild,
Free
that's
food for
actually
you.
how they usually eat. They just sit still on top of a tree
Hey,
and snipe
they're
every
kinda
ant
lazy.
that comes up next to them. I guess that instinct is hardwired into every Draco lizard
Okay,
because
let's see
mine
it.
pretty much instantly also start to slurp up these guys. Let's go. I'm actually happy he's
marker.
starting to eat these a bit. That means
Got
he's getting
him.
more used to this enclosure.
Now, obviously, ants, they're
This is
great. So I'm
snacking.
not gonna lie, it's gonna be a pain to have to go out and collect those every time I want to feed this guy. And that's not even to mention, usually it's just not even
And like, think about it, guys. This isn't just for a video. Like, it's becoming his pet. So like, he has to keep feeding it and take
so
care
I
of
have
it.
one more food source I want to try. Flightless fruit flies.
Yeah, most people would think Draco lizards actually wouldn't want to eat fruit flies. My thinking is, since they're the same size and color of ants, and actually even more nutritious, I figured it wouldn't be a bad
Are they
idea
easier
to try
to get
them
or
out.
something?
So I dumped some in, and to my surprise, the Draco lizard actually showed the most interest in these fruit flies, because not only did he just start to pick off the ones that were running by him, but he was
said they
also
kinda
going out
taste
of his
like
way to
fruit.
jump around and hunt these flies. Dang, must be pretty tasty.
Let's go. The fact that these fruit flies will work makes feeding so much easier. But you see, actually, by this point, I've had this
they're
little Draco
flightless.
lizard in the tank for like 10 days. You can actually see how much the tank is transforming with all that grass growing everywhere. And oh, dang, look at how long the grass is on
That's
this
so
side. But
cool.
over these 10 days, I have realized how hard it is to keep one of these Draco lizards. I've been spending hours every day to help him get adjusted to the tank so he can thrive. And I've even been getting him slowly adjusted to my hand so he won't be as scared of me.
We gotta see a
Because this guy has
1 month
been
update or
constantly
something.
showing off his wings in the tank, I figured now would finally be the right time to try and get it to fly. So I very carefully
Let's
picked
go.
up the little guy.
I totally
and held
forgot
him
that was the
in
point of this
sky.
video.
All right, now even though
This
I
video was so,
technically could just
like,
kinda hold this
entertaining.
guy on a ladder and
All
wait
right.
until he jumps off because they pretty much always catch themselves
Let's
with their
fly.
wings. Considering I already know they're such hard pets to keep, I wouldn't want to have to stress him out any more than he needs. So I'm just gonna hold him in front of the
Okay.
enclosure I know
Okay.
he likes and just see if he wants to glide in on
Come
his
on,
own.
fly.
And don't worry, I had tons of cushioning right under in case it didn't work. So I set up my camera and
Let's go.
I caught
Moment of
this
truth.
happening. The dragon was staring at the cage, looking like
Target
he was ready
locked.
to jump. So I gave him a little nudge with my thumb, and then it happened. Hold on,
Whoa,
rewind
that
that
happened
so we
way
can get a
too
better look at
fast.
what just happened. Now, I do want to say
Wait.
sorry for the trash footage quality. I didn't want to have to re-record this and make the dragon jump again, so this is all you
Wait.
get. Anyways, as you
Wait.
can see, he jumped and immediately brought out his wings.
Whoa,
They're literally
you couldn't even
programmed to
see
know
it.
that
It was
once
so
they're not
fast.
touching the ground to bring out their wings. We could see how he caught the wind.
Dude,
and
respect to
perfectly
Tara
flew
Green, man.
exactly
He's,
where
like,
he was
so
trying to
caring
land,
for the
right
animals.
on the branch.
We love
That
that.
was insane, and don't
For
worry,
him,
little
it's
guy,
not
I'm
just
gonna make you do
content,
that
it's
again.
life.
What's interesting is these lizards only fly in the wild when there's a strong wind current. So I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of using a leaf blower to help recreate that in here. That's kind of why that worked so well, and he was actually able to catch the wind. And yeah, this guy's still doing great. But remember, they actually are really hard reptiles to keep. So only try and get one if you actually have tons of experience keeping reptiles in the past.
Anyways, I hope you guys
What
learned
a good
something new
guy.
about
What a
nature.
good guy.
Thank you for watching.
And guys, don't
Yo guys, make sure you guys subscribe to them. Check them out down below. I hope you guys enjoyed. This was my first video reacting to Tara Green. So if you guys want to see more, let me know down below in the comments.